Hello everyone, this is OGAE Azerbaijan, and today we will get to know another amazing artist who is a finalist in Eesti Laul and who creates music through strong emotional storytelling, combining catchy rhythms with a completely unique way of blending improvisational pop, jazz, and folk elements. She will perform as a final act and show us all her energy.
Why the hell I keep wasting my time, wasting my energy.
Hello, Kadri, and welcome.
Hello, nice to be here.
Nice to get you here. Before actually starting questions, can you please introduce yourself? Who is Kadri Voorand?
I'm a musician and I compose and sing and play piano and use different little ads in other versions of electronics in my music, but that's what I do and that's what I have been doing most of my life.
Kadri, when did it all start? When did you know that you wanted to be a singer?
I kind of never knew that I wanted to be a singer because I was raised in a musician family. My mother led a folk ensemble, and since, as far as I can remember myself, I was a part of this big ensemble that performed authentic, traditional music from where I come from. And since very, very early childhood, I was on stage with my mom and all the rest of the band, creating like the Estonian folk parties. The last time I remember wanting to become a singer was in the second grade. But up until becoming 18, I was convinced that I'm going to go and study in technology university. But then I realized when I was 18 and making my choices that this is what I actually love to do most. And I have been doing it all the time besides going to school and doing all those smart things. Music was still the place for me to be where I was most happy. And then I went to study music when I was 18. I was into mathematics and I was into like, I'm going to be a realistic something, not musician. Yeah, but here I am.
And in your youth, you were part of a choir. How did you decide you want to be part of a choir?
Being part of a choir is something that every Estonian probably does at some point. And I was singing in the Estonian youth choir, and that I think influenced my taste in choir music because I've been also composing for choirs and to the big song festival in Estonia where thousands of singers gather. And this is also one of my love points because it's part of Estonia. But then Shaky was my teenage group of a cappella, which I created in high school. And that kind of started to lead my way into professional musician career because we started performing quite a lot. And also I started arranging quite a lot and also arranging for myself as a soloist, like arranging in my own kind of way, which led me to study jazz eventually, even though I wasn't jazz musician, but I was just using modern harmonies and that kind of thing.
Since you also studied actually in Estonian Academy Music and Theatre, you developed yourself and became part of different duos, trios, quintets. Are you currently part of any groups besides being in your solo career?
Yes, there are several groups that I'm still part of, even though it was a couple of years back where it was like definitely more than 10 or 20 even projects. But now it's a couple bands that I sing in, and that is not my music at all. I just am a singer in a drummer called Tanel Ruben's band. And then I also sing in Veljo Tormis quartet actively. And well, it's still like I take different projects in. Like I have this choir and orchestra project that I'm going to be also participating not only as a singer but as a composer as well. And that kind of different like projects are on my way all the time. But very actively, I'm working with my duo and with a trio of mine. And now I also have a chamber music ensemble, which has a a string quartet in it, and a rhythm section.
When I dream a dream, music makes it clear. It becomes a star, close to you now, though my love is far away.
And besides that, it's also active times for Estonian voices for the last decade, which just became 10 years old. And these are like active projects at this moment. I always think that, okay, now it's going to be like easy times. It's only a couple bands, and then half a year later, I'm like all the way like around participating in projects. But yeah, I try to focus myself more on my own bands and Estonian voices.
Ja see ongi hea või
Kadri, you also composed music for the animated film called Orpheus. How the idea came to be part of it?
Priit called me that could I write music for his animated movie, and we had once collaborated in a former animation where I performed just sounds of a figure of a woman in flames, and that I think inspired him even more to take me in as a sound and also take me in as a composer. We both kind of have no fear for like jumping out of the box. Priit is on a very, very crazy level on this. He really just creates so freely, and I'm a great admirer of his.
You also have participated in various international festivals, such as London Jazz Festival or Beijing Nine Gates Jazz Festival, and given concert tours all over the world. So how has attending such festivals helped you grow as an artist?
It doesn't really matter if it's a big festival or a very small venue in some small city, because whenever the concert starts and you're on stage, you just do your thing. And for me, no matter where my performance is, it's like the communication between me and the listeners. It's so heartwarming every single time. And this kind of communication, such a wonderful thing for an artist to have, which these days is kind of hard to get. I can't say that the big festivals have given me a different kind of taste of concert. It's just an honor that they have invited me. But for me, a concert is a concert.
You also collaborated with different artists such as Anthony Branker, Nape, Rain Ranap, and others. So how these collaborations actually work? From whose side the offer comes? And who will be your next collaboration, let's ask?
Well, usually collaborations come in a way that one of the musicians just needs my voice or my improvisational input or something like that. From the collaborations you mentioned, it was vice versa with Noep, whom I invited to sing my song, but with all the rest in the history, it has been that they have invited me for my voice. But I'm very lucky because every project, every collaboration I've been into, it's been so inspiring. You never know what's it going to be, and it has always been inspiring.
You also received many awards, such as President's Young Cultural Figure Award or Musician of the Year 2020. So what does it mean for you to be such a recognized artist?
I must admit, I don't think about those awards at all. They come, and at the moment they are given to me, I of course feel appreciation. I still always feel that I'm in the beginning, that I have still so much to learn and to develop myself. You always feel that you still don't have these or those skills to create something you hear. Then you don't have time to kind of sit back and enjoy. I don't know if all this recognition is in my system. Maybe I should work on it.
You also write all of your songs. How does this songwriting or music creating work for you?
Well, I write songs out of a wish of storytelling. I believe in storytelling because when I'm told a story that is true and is believable. When this story is good, then I reflect and I get new ideas. So I try to do it myself as well, that I just try to tell my story in the way that it's not lost in some musical show. I want to get closer and closer every time I compose to that I target, like telling a story through sounds, so that you feel what I want to tell you, and you don't have to know the lyrics, but you just feel what I want to tell you. That's my target all the time, and it inspires me when I hear a story told.
Then let's actually move on, Eesti Laul. Since we don't often see amazing jazz singers like you in Eurovision, can you please tell me how the idea came to participate in this year's Eesti Laul?
Well, it was kind of an impulsive moment, because in the evening before the deadline of sending your song, I was supposed to perform in Berlin Philharmonic Hall, which was supposed to be one of the most important concerts presenting my album, which was released last year just before the crisis. And then the Berlin concert was cancelled a couple of days before, and I was had a long day actually already, and in the evening felt that, okay, I have this song somewhere, like it wasn't finished, it lacked like a couple verses and so on, and I felt like actually this sounds like it could be an Eesti Laul concert. I had like thought about that this song sounds like that. It's an easygoing song in a melodic way, I think. And then at that night, I felt, okay, I just do it, because I have the opportunity, and why shouldn't I? So I finished the song, recorded it, and sent it off. But it wasn't like a bigger plan. No, I'm gonna write a song for this competition. But it was also like intriguing for me to kind of find out, what does it feel like to be part of this show, like how, what do I have to do differently, and to get the experience. It has been very, very enriching in that sense. And yeah, it is such a nice experience, and it inspires me when I know that I have a performance.
Actually, what was your first reaction when you knew that, oh, I'm in Eesti Laul now?
Well, when I found out, I wasn't really even like, I hadn't got it into my system that I participated. Then it just took time for me to understand, oh, I sent the song and now I'm actually in it. Okay. So now I have to do some things. Oh, there's a video and there are those meetings and I have to plan those. And I didn't have time to sit back and be like, oh, I got to the Eesti Laul. It just comes to you, that feeling, and then it goes very rapidly into the work process.
Kadri, have you talked to anyone who participated in Eesti Laul before, or in Eurovision, who represented Estonia? Did they give you any advice, perhaps?
I've been just asking a couple of people about some small details, like has it been this way previously? But it's been quite well organized in that sense, that they just tell you what to do and you do it. And so,
what will it mean to you to win Eesti Laul and represent Estonia in Rotterdam?
It would mean that I have the chance to tell the story to a lot more people, and I hope that there are people around Europe who might find this story inspiring. Even if I don't get to win, or even if there is only one person who gets their heart open during that song, then I've done my work. It's just, but getting to the finals means that you really get a chance to tell a story in a very good way to a lot more people. It is an opportunity to really do something with that music.
You probably heard all the songs from Eesti Laul. If I would ask you to pick one, who do you think like is the biggest competition to you?
I have no idea about that because I can't objectively estimate myself. Whom I really liked in the semi-finals was Uku Haasmaa, actually.
Mhm.
I liked his song. It was very soulful and something that I would listen to in the car. I drive a lot. I see that everyone is so bloody strong. All the songs are strong. All the artists are personalities, and the styles are so different. Whatever people feels that evening, you can't really predict it because it's impossible.
Mhm.
We don't know how people feel Saturday evening. So, yeah, I don't know. I really have no clue. Everyone is so bloody strong.
Do you watch Eurovision in generally?
I used to watch Eurovision much more than these last years, I must admit. But still, I think the finals I have watched because it's a very entertaining to see. And me as a musician, of course, it's nice to discuss what song is better, and it's always nice to see what people will vote for. And friends or families gather and watch the show and do the same thing, like discuss and enjoy the evening of entertainment and good music, hopefully.
Since you are your own songwriter of your entry, can you please explain what is the message behind of Energy?
Well, it is a love ballad, but the underline in it is very clear. Not the song "I'm so sad." No, I'm not. That's why it's called Energy. The message is that I am given the amount of energy per my own lifetime only. And I have a choice of what can I do with that energy in relationships and in the work life and in all sorts of things we do. We act out of fear. You're afraid that if you don't do this, then maybe you lose that. But instead, maybe you can use this energy creating the values and the world you believe in. There is a small child that you once were, and listen to what he or she really once dreamt about. Like, are you creating this world now or not? So listening to that inner girl inside of me, acting out of that love and using energy for better worlds and do it now. It's so hard to describe a song and a message. I just hope it's in the melody.
Actually, do you think about someone while you are singing that song? Because that emotions are basically going to your listeners, and it's just crazy.
When I perform, I always use my real life, even if the lyrics don't go together. In my songs, I think about people, places, situations. I let it through my system so that I can hear how my voice, like what does my voice do when I feel this or that. And it's the work process is always very, very personal.
Mm-hmm.
It cannot be other way around because voice is so honest. If you're not personal, you can hear it.
How actually does it feel to sing for empty audience? So since Eesti Laul gets without audience.
And there is still audience with like other competitors. We all hold each other and we clap and it's a very friendly atmosphere there, and that supports as well. But yeah, on stage when the song starts, then I'm into it completely. But when the song ends and then there is no clapping, then it's a little bit weird.
You are also the closing act for Eesti Laul. How does it feel regarding this? Do you feel any pressure that, oh, like I'm the last act and...
It's easier to be in the beginning, but it's definitely an honor to be in the end. But it is hard in two different senses. One is that I have to concentrate on my song while the others are already singing, and there is this technical thing also that people start to call already in the beginning of the show. And then probably I have also been Instagram or some place that we are advised to do that. And it takes a lot of concentration away.
Actually, what about staging? Are you going to keep it as simple as you did in semifinal?
Probably I will now have more layers in music and in the emotional side because I've performed it now. I now know how it feels with the audience. And I think that I will work on the storytelling to maybe see if there are some other stories from my life that I can put into my intonation as well. Like I will see. Yes, I'll try to do my song even better. Not even better, just better. I'm never satisfied with myself, so I'll just work with my song.
Can I actually ask you to sing a little of your song, if possible?
Why the hell I keep falling in love with the ones who are hurting me? Why the hell I keep wasting my time, wasting my energy? And I'm having my fears, they'll drown into tears, and it's burning me. And I'm wasting my years, though I've learned my fears, they shouldn't guide me. Played with one hand from very far away. That's very funny thing to do.
Do you have actually any message for your fans?
Listen to music and dare to dream while it. And not everything you dream of while listening to music has to become true. When some dreams are happening in the music and you feel happy while listening to music, then it's just completely okay to just, for some dreams to stick in the music. You can always listen to good music even more. That's always allowed. Every person is allowed to have this room and time for themselves. And this is the time spent as well as the time in this so-called real world. Like whenever you take an hour or couple, you walk around and it just feels so great and powerful. It's as valuable as the time actually having those things. Yeah, so always dare to use music to dream and feel. Right, like every thought is allowed, every thought. Yeah.
Thank you very much for this great interview, and thank you very much for your energy and inspiration. I wish you very good luck in Eesti Laul, and hopefully we will see you perhaps in Rotterdam.
Let's see how life goes. Yes, but I wish all the best to you as well. And hope that we'll meet again through music and listening.